Ever since I was young, I was drawn to the mountains. But I think most people are. It's just the why that can be a tad different. Hey man, I'm gonna be out of the office. I'm headed up to the Sawtooth. I'm gonna get that bucket list shot that I've been telling you about. And yeah, it's gonna be a gnarly haul for sure. 2 a.m. wake up call. But I'll make it worth it. I'm gonna make some rad stops along the way. All right man, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, what? As a kid, you know, when I was, you know, pretty young, I went through some pretty traumatic things that, like, I hope no kid, you know, has to go through. It was just something that really opened my eyes to my belief in myself of I can get through difficult things. Like these like hurdles in my life is just, it's just me and this hurdle. And I think that's the real thing that I chase in life is, can I do this? Like, can I do this? Is this possible for myself? I get called crazy all the time because of, you know, the weird challenges that I've put myself up against. But to me, it's like the only way I can stay sane. When I see something that I know is going to be hard for me, it's almost like I'm drawn to it. Can't ask for anything better. This is perfect. And yet I drove right to it. Like I haven't even walked yet. I just barely put on my shoes. Great. Like so much potential. It's gonna be sweet. It'll be really pretty. For sunset, we'll get a little bit of color, but sunrise, this spot, I'm telling you. What's the thing off the Hercules? Like, it's gonna be good. What? Yeah! Get the sun back out. This is perfect. This is gonna be perfect. This is, that view, just the perfect pano. Maybe the perfect shot. Dude, it really does remind me so much of the time at the Wind Rivers about a year ago. Probably the most epic sunset I've ever had. And horseback ride or rode into the Wind Rivers, and sure enough, it was just raining on us, and we were just waiting for something to break, and sure enough, it broke, and it was insane. There was color going everywhere, like just pinks and orange, and then there you had a little bit of blue popping, and then you look behind us, and there was a rainbow, and it was epic, and it feels actually identical to this, and this is just a perfect second experience of my best sunset. It's gonna be rad. Look at that cloud that's just beaming over there. Ooh, yeah! Stoked. Let's get the camera. World renowned, but only city noticed. I'm here to stir things up. I like to follow the rules. Rule of thirds, so that is, of course. Do I come here often? Often enough to know better. It's where I do, it's where I roam, it's who I am. My name's Harper-Smith, and you're watching my MTV Cribs. One more for the boys. I think everyone's on some kind of chase. You know, chase for promotion, for that new car, or that old car, that old Land Cruiser,
you drive by every day for the perfect house.
Oh, that's the way to wake up.
We're all chasing something.
Sky.
I just decided to chase the mountains. I take photos not so that I can remember everything, but so that I can forget and just relive them. Wasn't the best shot, but it was a great memory. I see actual mountains as such a huge challenge. Being at the base of them and thinking, how am I gonna get to the top? Or knowing that I have to wake up at 3 a.m., 1 a.m. to capture sunrise. And like my whole goal is to capture one image, but I have to get to the top of that peak to do it. Or I have to get, bag a couple peaks or get in the back mountains. And it's just for one photo. Having these mountains that I chase is allowing me to become a better photographer. It's allowing me to overcome difficulties that I'm having. And ultimately, my goal is to be the best father I can be. And I think that's what I love so much about mountains. As a landscape and, outdoor photographer, a lot of my work has to be done before I actually take a photo, of planning, of searching through maps, of knowing when sunrise is going to be, knowing what the scene is going to look like before I actually press the button to take a photo. That's where the trailhead is. It's about 5.5 miles up. Get there by sunrise. That's gonna be an early morning, like a 2 a.m. start. All right, let's do it. Cool. There's this shot I've always wanted to have. I mean, it's been haunting me for years. It's the mountains, it's the ruggedness of the sawtooths. It's just feeling so distant from the normal life. And it's just something that pulls me in. It's gonna be a beast. It's gonna be a challenge for sure to get the shot. I'm stoked, but also sleep sounds so good right now. Oh, 2 a.m. About to go hike 5 miles for sunrise. It's gonna be worth it. Sometimes I wonder if this job is too crazy, and I admire the people with like a normal job, because man, it would be nice to get some sleep sometime.
Like my second favorite thing to do at this time, besides sleeping, is hiking. Far. Driving over here, my eyes were like, felt like it was going 95 miles per hour. I looked down, it was only going 40. But I must say, there was a ton of elk.
I mean, early mornings are my forte. It's hard to start, but hardly ever is it not worth it. So my process of going in, I have an idea of what the photo is going to look like a little bit, but I haven't been to some of these spots, and so it takes, basically walking around, viewing it from different angles, kind of getting away from anything that would distract the image, and just waiting for that perfect time. Trees. You see how it goes big and then comes small again? The lake goes big again. Right there. And like this right here looks really nice and open and like gives me foreground. Whereas like this spot here, the foreground's just not as like interesting, and it's kind of more closed off. and I want to get some foreground, just because if the winds continue to pick up, we won't have any reflection, and so there's just a lot of like blink in the shot, and so it'd be nice to have a bit of foreground to add just depth to the image. And with the clouds coming in, the clouds could be super rad. It's actually like smoke too, so the colors, I think the colors are gonna be insane. So we have like 25 minutes, but I think that's gonna be good. So I just don't want to settle and just get like a decent image. It's kind of like have something in my mind and I want to get it. Gotta move quick. I didn't want to stay at that spot because I knew I would regret trying to get to that spot that I was, that I envisioned, the scene that I envisioned with reflection from the mountains on the lake that we were at. Sure enough, we booked it over there, headlamps on, arriving to the scene, and we made it. Right when we got there, lightning struck right behind the mountain range. Things weren't looking good. Beautiful. It's starting to rain, but 17 minutes until sunrise. We're gonna see if we don't get skunked. There's a chance where it's insane, and there's a chance where we just have to come back. It was legally I was born deaf, and articulating words isn't something that comes natural to me, and I feel like telling a story through, like visuals is something that's easier for me to get my point across. This camera's sharp. Oh, this is it, dude. You get like clouds. It's not just like, there's like this rad haze as well. Like it's not like, oh my gosh, this is insane. It's so pretty, dude. It's like, it's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Like, this is it. I prefer telling a story with images rather than telling a story with words. And for me, that's more powerful. There's a million meaningful stories in this one image, but to someone else, there might just be one.